So today we are talking the November 2020 market trends for Colorado Springs. And we got Jenny Bayless here to walk us through it. Jenny, how's it going?
It's going great. How about yourself, Chris?
Very good. But most importantly, what's up in the Colorado Springs real estate market?
Well, I'm beginning to sound like a broken record, but it is still on fire. Believe it or not, even approaching in the holiday season now, and it is still really, really hot. So, even just kind of diving right into it, the showing trends, they're the highest that they've ever been in November for the last 3 years. And they're still settled at about 11 showings per property compared to about 7 or 8 in prior years, which is a considerably a lot more. And I think you'll, as we go along this the trends analysis, we'll start to see why, and that's because there's not a lot to choose from on the market currently.
And before you jump into the stats, let's give people the context too, because this is something you and I do this every day. So this is what we eat, breathe, and sleep. But the two reasons why we're saying the market is still on fire and we're recording this in almost mid-December is normally we have seasonality. As winter comes, the market slows down. And usually right around election years, the market slows down more, especially presidential election years. Everyone's too busy, watch the news and hating the other part of the country, I think. But the market does slow down. And this year, it's just not.
Yeah, it's interesting because you touched upon the election impact on it, and as you've mentioned in other podcasts, typically interest rates fluctuate a little bit after that, and we just really haven't seen that. So I'm curious how much of an impact that actually has on everything.
All right. So what is your stats? Like, I'm really curious to hear about your stats because I know Denver set a few records this month. So I'm really curious to see what the Springs is doing.
Yeah, just to get right into it, for single family homes, the median sales price is 375, whereas last year it was 320. That's a 17% jump in 1 year. So that's pretty unbelievable. And just to kind of touch on that, it's really honestly a feeding frenzy for anything at that 375 and below price point. Multiple offers, the house, goes within days. And it's just, yeah, it's really hard to buy at that price point right now. And then kind of going down to condo townhomes. I know I've mentioned this before. Also, people will often ask, "Hey, what appreciates better, condos, townhomes, or single family homes?" And my answer is always single family homes, but it's always relative because the median sales price for condos and townhomes jumped 16.5% between this November and last November. So compared to 17.2%. So both are extremely strong price increases, in my opinion. So
What's
yeah.
your? Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead. I was just going to say the month supply is still extremely low for both types of properties.
That's what I was going to ask you. What's your inventory like right now?
So we had a total of 482 single family homes and 38 condos and townhomes.
Wait, say those numbers again.
482 single family homes on the market during November.
That's what was available on the market during November?
Compared to last year at about 1,200.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that just all kind of feeds into why the prices are just jumping so quickly because people are desperate to buy homes. There's just nothing for sale. So it's really wild.
Now, I know these are, this is the P par MLS, which is the Springs one. Do they report the total under contract you have? Because the last couple months in December, we've been inverted. We've had more properties under contract than active inventory. And I'm curious if the Springs is having that same issue.
Yep. So we have that stat. So we have November of this year, 2240. So 2,240 properties under contract.
And what was your inventory at the end of the
Four
month?
482. So I'm not really sure how the math works out on that. I could not tell you how that's happening. I don't know if it's new builds or, off market type stuff. I'm not really sure how that worked out, because even last year last month, October, there was 656 units for sale. So I'm not really sure how we got to 2,200 under contract.
Wow, I think I have to go back. That's even more disproportionate we're seeing in Denver, I think.
Do you know what's causing it up in Denver?
I think it's just the low interest rates is bringing everyone out to buy, and we've had fewer listings. I'm guessing because of COVID.
Mhm.
People that either are high risk or don't want to sell during a pandemic, or maybe some people that are just hey, they've lost their job or financial uncertainty, so not a great time to like trade up. But we just don't have the same number of listings hitting the market like we've done in the past. So I think it's supplies even less and demands even more, which is not what we need in the market right now.
Right, right.
All right. So what other interesting stats do you have for us?
Yeah. So I think one thing to highlight is that as of November this year, the total sales year to date is significantly higher than the past 4 years, which I find interesting given what we just talked about, that there's just been such little inventory that we're still able to have such a high closing rate um, in Colorado Springs. And then, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, so it sounds like the rest of these stats are similar to what we talked about the previous months. Just market's hot, low inventory. Do you see anything on the horizon as we are, rounding out the end of the year for 2021 that's going to have any significant impacts on the market, either for better or for worse?
I don't. I mean, I guess if I did, I would be really rich right now. But no, I'm really not sure how this is going to shake out, or when we're going to eventually get a somewhat more healthy level of inventory for people to buy homes. So I'm really not sure how that's going to work. But I would imagine that home sellers right about now are feeling pretty good about their odds of getting what they want, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Any other stats you want to
No,
go
I
over,
don't.
or is it all broken record stuff from last month?
Yeah, I think it's all pretty much the same, just even tighter. So believe it or not.
All right. Well, Jenny, thank you. And I know we touched on some stats. If you guys want to see those numbers or see additional stats and graphs that Jenny's put together for the Springs market, check the link in the show notes or go to the website, click on the Springs section, and you'll see a drop down for market updates. And you can get to it either way. All right, Jenny, thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks so much, Chris.